Kia ora, tēnā koutou, hello, and welcome back to the Craftsmen Collective with Birdtross here. And we're here up at the birdhouse thing that we've kind of got going. I haven't really gotten started with building it because probably going to replace a lot of these with like logs or something, try and make it a bit more tree-y with vines and stuff. Yeah, anyway, kind of a huge change over here. Well, that's a huge change. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I've moved my machines around a little bit. And the main reason the main change from the last episode is that the generator has moved all the way into this corner. And I think that's a good move because this kind of makes this corner kind of the IC2 area. And the main reason I did that is because of this guy right here. The compressor. Now the compressor is a really cool thing that you're going to need for crafting a lot of the more complicated stuff. We are going to get to that today as well. But the main thing I wanted was to have two items on either side of our bat box here. How is that actually doing? It's full! Oh, well that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we've got over here on this side, we've got the electric furnace and the macerator as before. And then we've got the extractor here for rubber and yeah, the compressor as I said before. And then we've got the generator here if we really want to generate a decent amount of power at night. Honestly though, because of this guy, we're probably not going to have that much of a problem anymore. So what we've got here is a really cool thing that I haven't really talked about before. This is part of a mod, or an add-on I should say, called Compact Solas, and every time I've typed solar panel in here you've probably seen it. So here's the standard recipe for a solar panel. Pretty complicated well, no, that's a lie. I guess it is pretty complicated for at least what we've got here. If you have something like Greg Tech, you know, obviously this is a child's play. But then we've got these things over here. We've got the low voltage solar array, medium and high. Now, so let's take the recipe for a low voltage solar array. And it takes 8 solar panels, which I showed the recipe just before, and an LV transformer. Now this is kind of getting into more of the, a bit more in depth with industrial craft, talking about how EU sort of travels through the wires and how you need to step it up and step it down. We're not really going to talk about that because this is just for me, this is really just a crafting ingredient. So it just takes 2 copper cables and 4 pieces of wood, so it's relatively cheap. But what isn't cheap is having to make 8 of these solar panels. It takes quite a while to get all that coal dust all sorted out. Plus it takes a whole lot of copper to get to this stage. So yeah, a single solar panel is going to generate 1 EU per tick. So if we take 8 of these solar panels and turn it into the low voltage solar array, that's going to make, you guessed it, 8 electric units EU. I can't believe the word I was looking for, EU. 8 EU per tick, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, so here's the thing. I could have just put 8 solar panels up here. So what is the advantage of just having one of these low voltage transformers when I could just have my 8 solar panels and save myself a bit of copper? Well, the way it works is that a single solar panel generating 1 EU per tick, basically it's like, put it this way, if I had the 8 EU per tick, I could still keep my tin cable here. I've switched that out. But the thing is that I gotta introduce you to a new concept with industrial craft called packets, and packets are like, let's say, so if I had my 8 solar panels, that'd be 1 EU, that'd be a total of 8 EU per tick, but it'd also be 8 packets per tick. This thing here does 8 EU per tick at 1 packet per tick, and the main reason that I'm doing this is just to reduce lag, because the packets kind of produce lag that's extra work for the game to do. So if it's only got 1 packet to process, it's kind of 8 times faster. Not that that matters too much, because the Craftsmen Collective I think is a pretty beefy server. But yeah, I just want to try and do my part, be a little efficient and help the community out, just get a decent energy solution going on. So yeah, we've got this low voltage solar panel here. Now the 10 cables that I had before, yeah, I've still got a couple here. Ultra low current. These are only really good for solar panels because they generate such a low current. This thing here, I think, so I'll just quickly go back to these. These they can take about maybe 5 or 6 EU per tick or something like that before they and if they take any more than that, they'll just like fizz out. So, and I didn't want to take the chance here with this guy, so I've replaced it with the next step up, these copper cables. And these copper cables, they can withstand about 32 electric EU per tick. So that's what I'm using down here coming out of the bat box. They survive 32 EU per tick, no problem. So I could stick 4 of these. No, actually that's not true. I could stick a ton of these on here, and that's kind of... I could have kept the 8 on the here as well, because this doesn't take into account the packets. And so yeah, you could put a bunch of 1-level solar panels on there, but again, just didn't want to take the chance. So I think we're just going to quickly sleep before I get to today's crafting. As I said in the last episode, what I was planning on doing today was actually getting some of that super duper cool nano armor. Now if we go ahead and take a look at my obsidian chest here, you can see I've been quite a busy bee. A busy bird, I guess. I've got a lot, I think everything. This is, at the very least, most things that we need right here in order to make the nano armor. So 21 carbon plates is the magic number the last time I checked. Probably just want to check that again at some point. We're going to need a piece of glass for the helmet. We're going to need some flint and obsidian as well to make the diamonds that we're going to need. It's going to be a total of 4 diamonds that we're going to need, because each piece of nano armor requires 1 energy crystal. And rather than just using up 4 of the diamonds that I mined out of the quarry, I am just going to make them with industrial craft, because hey, why not? So yeah, coal armor is the goal here. I've got a huge amount of coal dust here as well. This took a fair amount of AFKing. So in total here I've got a little over 6.5 stacks of coal invested in this project. And to be honest, that's actually a lot less than I was expecting. So that is really cool. Let me just show you the recipe for the carbon plates again. They are kind of complicated, I suppose. All you've got to do is take a raw carbon mesh and a compressor. A raw carbon mesh comes from 2 fibers. A single fiber comes from 4 coal dust, and you get the coal dust from macerating it. Now, so that, as I said, did take a fair amount of AFKing, but if we go ahead and look inside the macerator here, you can see I've installed some overclocker upgrades, and these are really, really cool. What they actually do is speed up the processing time for the so it takes a less amount of time to process, and I've actually got some spare overclockers here, so whenever I had some spare power, I just throw them in. So yeah, I'll show you the recipe for these. Pretty cool. They take an electronic circuit and some copper cables, and then they take this new thing here, the 10K coolant cell. These are pretty easy to make. All you need to do is get a water bottle here, or a capsule, or whatever you fancy, water can, bucket, water will do just fine, and 4 pieces of tin, and that's going to get you a single coolant cell. These don't stack, so if you're not using a project table like I probably should have, they're going to take a fair amount of clicking to make. So yeah, I think I ended up making a bit of overkill here, because I kind of worked out that it can actually take 5 overclockers before it starts draining, because there's a catch. It increases the speed, but it steps up the amount of power that the macerator draws from the bat box. And I think 2 is the limit with this setup that I have here. If I put in 3, it'll slowly drain the energy out of our bat box. But because I didn't really want to do that, I've just left it as 2, and as I said, whenever I had a bit of spare power, I just throw it in. Not a lot of the times I have had spare power, so I think all my machines are like, yeah, full up, got the bat pack here. That's actually given me a bit of trouble, but yeah, we won't really talk about that, that's just personal things. Well, not personal, just kind of that stuff. So I guess we'll just quickly show off the recipe for the diamonds, because I haven't made the diamonds yet. Where is it again? I showed this off in the last episode, but you just want to do that again. Whereabouts are they? Here they are. So you need to take a coal chunk, and the coal chunk takes a compressed coal ball and a piece of obsidian in a compressor. You get a coal ball and 8 coal dust and 8 flint, and that's pretty much the recipe there. So what we need to do, I guess, is pretty much get started with that. I need to take all of my flint here and all of this coal dust, I guess. Yeah, I've just got stuff littered in my inventory from when I was working on this thing here, so let's see how we do here. I'm not sure if I've got enough. Oh, yes, I do. I did the math, so that should be cool. Just get rid of any eye. Bit in the way. Alright, this is going to give us 8 coal balls. Now, I just want to look at this again using any eye. It's a little bit confusing to follow the steps here. It'd probably be really nice to actually get an automated process going on. Yeah, so the only thing you can use this for is to stick these in the compressor. So this is the main reason I got the compressor, just to do this. And I'm probably going to stick these in there. Now, as I said, 5 overclockers is going to be enough to keep the system stable, is the word I was using in my head, so we'll keep using that word. That sounds fine to me. We've already got 2, but I think what we're going to do is, just while that's going on, we'll just take a quick tour of what I've been doing downstairs. You can probably already see, maybe even at the start of the episode you saw some interesting goings on here. We'll talk about this in just a second, but I've kind of started down here with just I'll call this a generic sort of looking kind of a big thick tree, what, you know, the tree bit. Yes, I've got this going, and as I was doing it, I really was thinking, well, I won't know what I think about until I sort of just do it. So I did just do it, and I've done a little bit of it here, and I'm honestly saying that I don't really actually kind of like it. I think it's a bit straight. Obviously, once I've done the kind of the main thing, I probably want to add some detail to it. So there's no problem there, but I just think it's a bit too thick. So what I kind of started doing was kind of changing my tactics a bit. Maybe I want to make a different kind of tree here. Maybe I don't want to make a sort of a standard looking tree. Maybe I want a magical looking tree. And a magical looking tree or a magical building often looks like it's kind of, the support for it doesn't look very strong. It's sort of like, it's almost like it's held up by magic. So this is kind of what I was doing here with the stirp, just kind of planning out how I may want to structure this new thing, this new, what is it called? What is it called? I was going to say stump, but stump isn't the right word. The shaft, the stalk, whatever word that is, whatever word, you know what word I'm saying now, I hope. See, I want to kind of do just sort of a long more this size here, just very basic. This is probably not going to be the final design. I'm thinking I might reduce the size of this curve here. I may even add a loop-the-loop. That'd be kind of cool to add, I think. Yes, I'm kind of doing that at the moment. I didn't really want to progress too far ahead, just because I just wanted to see what you guys thought of it. I think this is an interesting idea. It may not be what we go with, but it's just another option, I think, and that's always really good. For up here, though, I actually thought of a really cool idea. When you have the branches, maybe you could have like grass in between the branches, and you can just like grow little trees on there. I think they call it epiphytes when things grow in the elbow of a tree branch. I think that's what they call it, epiphytes. So I was kind of going for that angle because I'm a kind of a biological kind of guy. I like the biological sciences. Oh yeah, this is draining power. Look at that. I didn't realize it was taking... Where is all that power coming from? Oh, is it filling back up? Okay, so that was draining power. Well, it's finished now. So we've got these compressed coal balls. Now we're probably going to need to stick these back in here, but just what am I supposed to do with these now? Uses. Funny thing about NEI, the recipes take a lot less time to process, but the uses seems to take a lot longer. Okay, so that's pretty easy. We'll take our... get our obsidian. I had a bunch of obsidian from, I guess, Lemon gave it to me. So, yeah, thank Lemon for this project. Didn't have to go down and get any obsidian from any lava lakes or anything. Sweet. I think we did come across a lava lake in the quarry, so if I could have got some lava pretty quick there. Alright, so we've got our coal chunks here, and there's only one thing for it. I think you stick these in the compressor. And this should just quickly, we'll just let it rip through that. But I think I'm going to take a quick commercial break right here. And then when we return, we're going to start working on that nano armor Oh yeah. As well as probably doing something else. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll think of it in the break. So yeah. BRB, guys. Do 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 do. It's always, I always love looking at Minecraft sunsets. There's just something about the Minecraft sunsets. Well, anyway, welcome back. I think we'll just quickly nibble on a few potatoes. There we go, and then we'll just quickly sleep through the night to let my low voltage solar array, it's a solar array, not a solar panel. You just sleep through this, and then we'll get to crafting that armor. So I was just looking through my chests just to think, well, is there anything that I can make? Oh, I've already got them. And guys, I think it's time that we finally crack it. Actually, I need redstone. I completely forgot about that. Oh, I was hoping I had everything. Needed a little bit more. This will do. I think it's finally time, guys. I've had them sitting in a chest this entire time. It's finally time to tackle ThaumCraft 3. Oh, yeah. So I've been getting, I've gotten a couple of gifts from Lem, as usual. Yeah. I really do want to do this, guys. I've been kind of waiting on it. I've been thinking, I want to do it all on camera for you guys, because ThaumCraft with Birdtross was a great series. I didn't really finish it, though. Oh, I did technically finish it. We beat the Ender Dragon. But yeah. I really like ThaumCraft. It's definitely one of my favourite mods. So what we've got here is an energy crystal. Now, this is actually going to be a bit worrying in terms of progress later on, but we'll just talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, these are... Now, if you remember RE batteries and how they store 10,000 EU per tick. No, they store 10,000 EU. These things are pretty much the same thing. They're like a battery. They're like the next tier battery, the energy crystal. They store 100,000 EU, and they're kind of like the backpack here, except the backpack you can wear on your chest here. But I've just got it sitting in my inventory most of the time here. It's just 60,000 EU. So the thing we got at the moment is that's going to be a bit of a problem with our bat box in a little bit, but we'll get to that in a second. So hopefully this is going to be kind of the right recipe for stuff. Here we go. So I wanted to make the Nanosuit boots and legs, the boots and leg bits first, because I'm still rocking with the Chaos armor here, and I'm not quite sure if I want to keep the jetpack, and the solar helmet is probably also just going to make its way into my inventory here, because it's just nice to kind of have that on you. Yeah, having the jetpack here as well is pretty cool. I don't think the nano armor has any kind of way to generate EU like the solar helmet does. Right, so we've got that, and hopefully 21 being the magic number. Is it? We'll soon find out. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Did I miscalculate, or have I just misplaced a carbon plate? Oh dear. Bird fails at math. Alright, where is it? Nano. Oh, okay, no, I did not fail. Oh, that was close. I thought I was going to have to make an extra carbon plate. That would have really sucked. Alright, so anyway, we've got that. Now, as I said, the problem here is power. The bat box here is a bit underpowered to deal with a total of 400,000 EU that we're going to need here. So I think we'll just throw these in. See, you can't even put these in there. Wow, I can't even charge these up. Like, I'll wear them all the same just because I look so freaking badass. Look at that. Don't you just look like a total pro? Oh wait, hang on. Okay, well that's filling it up. That's kind of cool. That would take forever to fill up, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. Maybe if I do that, will that help? If I walk around or something? No, okay. Well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so getting this next level thing here is probably going to be what we want to do pretty quick here, and that's actually, the recipe for that is an MFE. And that, again, that's pretty easy. I'm probably going to try and conserve diamonds again, just because I have such a surplus of coal. I mean, it seems a waste not to use them for something that good. They take a long time to make that coal dust, though. So anyway, I think it's time to dump our inventory here and try and add as much space as we can for these awesome mod parts. Now, I'm starting to run out of space here. I probably want to get another chest. I actually want to keep that on me. No, we'll keep the tree tap on us because that's a tool. I'm just kind of making a stockpile of things that I like to have on me over here. I'll get rid of that, and yeah, I think it's time to say goodbye to the Chaos Armor. Plenty of space in there. Cool. Alright. And we'll keep the solar helmet off for now, just to let this charge up the only way we know how. Well, that's not going to help. So, Lem actually gave me these. I got these a long time ago from him when I first came onto the server. And I've got this as well. So, okay, we need this, and we probably need this, and we're probably going to need that at some point. Oh, using that's probably going to be a bit difficult. But anyway, so we'll get to some of the basics of ThaumCraft. So we've been using the Arcane Table here. And I haven't actually shown the recipe for this. It's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is take, I think it's a workbench, is it? No, it's a table. You need to take a table. The recipe for a table is pretty straightforward. You need 3 slabs, wooden slabs, or you know, half slabs or whatever, and then 2 of these planks, and that's going to get you a table. And then what you want to do is you want to right click on it with your Wand of the Apprentice, and your wand is also pretty easy to craft. Oh dear. Can't see it. Okay, well the recipe for it is pretty straightforward. It takes a V-shard, it takes a plank, and it takes a gold nugget. There we go, I remembered. And yeah, Lem gave me all this stuff, so I was pretty much set from the get-go. Yeah, pretty much everything here I haven't really gotten. I got on a few brains, and I think I got these. But for the most part, a lot of what you're seeing here, I didn't get. I don't think that I got that amber. I've got a lot of amber that I have from my my quarry, but yeah. Also, as well, another thing you want to get right off the bat is the Thermometer, and that's also pretty cool to make. You take a bookcase, like, you know, a standard bookcase that you make, that you surround an enchanting table with. You just plonk that down, right-click it with your wand, and it turns into the Thermometer. You can right-click it, and that's a new sound. But anyway, it kind of gives you this achievements sort of thing here, which is pretty cool. And there's an entire, as you can see, an entire tree of amazingly awesome things that we can make in ThaumCraft 3. But as you can see here, there's only a couple of things here that we've got started off. Pretty basic things as well. So we've got this thing over here, and so you can't tell what any of these are. Is the thing. These are written, or the language presented to us is the Galactic Standard Alphabet, just the same as the enchanting language. And yeah, so we've got all these discoveries on us, and the way that we learn about these things in our Thermonomicon is just through random research. Now, research has changed a lot in ThaumCraft 3 from ThaumCraft 2. This thing here is called the research table. I just right-clicked on it, it didn't work. Again, this is a pretty cool recipe. It takes 2 tables. I'll show you the... Oh, there we go. There we go. So I'll just exit out of there. It takes 2 tables to make. We saw the table recipe before. And then all you need to do is take some scribing tools. And the recipe for the scribing tools are here. This is going to be a glass vial or a glass bottle. Probably just a glass bottle. Or some scribing tools and ink sac. Okay. And that's going to give you an ink sac and a feather. And that's going to give you the scribing tools. And you just right click on the table with your scribing tools. And that's kind of in them there, I suppose. And then we've got this kind of nice looking graphic on the top of the table here. But yeah, the research table itself is actually kind of a dark interface. But yeah, we'll just quickly kind of talk about it for a little bit. We've the very first thing I'll talk about down here is the different kinds of research. We've got cursory and thorough research. Now, with cursory research is for the resource-friendly Minecrafter. If you're concerned about losing your resources to research, you probably want to stick with this setting here, because there's a lower chance of losing your items due to research. The downside though is that the research takes a bit longer, so there's that. So we're going to go to thorough because we don't really care about resources. We love to get research as quickly as we possibly can, but we have a much, much higher chance to consume resources here. And so a cool thing that ThaumCraft actually does is if I press shift, I'm just pressing shift right now, and you take a look at all of these various items here, all these vanilla items in particular, we can see even some of these mod items. Some of these mod items and the vanilla items here have various, you can see there's pictures above them. Those are called aspects, and the aspects determine kind of the magical properties of that item. You can see here just in my inventory here, we've got several different kinds of aspects as it is. You know, we've, for example, the wood here, these planks have got this kind of tree thing, and that number down there is also pretty important. That tells you how much of the aspect that it is. Even my Nanosuit armor here uses 4 of this armor attribute. I can't remember what it's called exactly. The electric jetpack has 9, and so does the backpack. And we've got tons of different ones, as I said, just in my inventory here. So really it's all about just taking one of your items here, and you can see the lignum is what it's called. It goes into the table here, and I can start to research it. But we're actually going to need, it does use fuel. No, you put the fuel in here, and the fuel is in the form of paper. I can exit out of the interface here, and the wood will stay just fine, no problem. But yeah, we are going to need some paper now. I don't think I have any paper in this chest anymore. I did have some in there, but I took it out. So we just want to quickly find some. And it is nighttime now, but we are just going to keep it that way. I know what I can do. Let's go... Paper. No, not appa. No. Paper. There we go. So we can kind of see what's in our chests here a bit easier. Nope. Any paper? No, I thought I saw something in the first one. No. Okay, so this is just a really cool way to quickly search your chests. As soon as we see some. If we see some. Oh dear. Oh, here we go. Here's some paper. Cool. And there's some sugar cane there as well, which we're probably just going to turn into paper as well. Because otherwise it's just sitting there. So double click that again. You double click that, by the way, to get that feature. So we'll just head over here back to the Arcane work table just to craft a bit more paper here, because you do blitz through this stuff with this research. Now you can see here I've got a bunch of these research notes. I'll get into that in just a second. Yeah, did I say that the research system for ThaumCraft was completely overhauled from ThaumCraft 2? There's no longer the Quasartim. That doesn't exist anymore. Research isn't put some cobble in and hope to get something walking away. That's gone. You kind of have to be here. Alright, so anyway, the lignum goes in there, and all I have to do is hit this button here. This is like the research button. And you can see I hit it and it makes a sound. So if I go ahead and hit this a couple of times, maybe we might get something. You can see this lignum isn't going away, so it's a good indicator that we're just not getting anything, I don't think. We're also losing a fair amount of wood here, but Lem has helped us out with that pretty easily. Well, it doesn't look like we're getting anything from that, but that is the general idea. I'm actually going to take one of these kind of half-completed research notes. Obscurus. Okay. So this... I wonder if there's another one that's a bit better. The Thermometer. Okay, so this is one that kind of Lem basically started. So if I take, for example... let's see if we got anything. Okay, so this here has got that purple book there. This book here. It's got the cognito aspect. But that's already completed for this. So if I kept doing that with a cognito aspect in here, it would actually eventually show up down in this part of the table here. It just kind of start down here like machina. You know, sort of 0%, I suppose. But because this is a kind of a kind of started research notes that Lamb just kind of throw to me because he finished his research, I suppose. Yes, so he's already done the cognito for us. He's also done precontatio, which is the magic or the sorcery, and so a lot of these enchanted items are going to have a little bit of it. You can see my sword here has huge amounts of it. And yeah, even my bow here. The Thermometer doesn't. The wand has a fair amount. That's interesting. Pretty much nothing else in here is probably going to have it. Alright, maybe the linking book? No, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, so we've got that done. But what we need to get done is the machina aspect here. And so really for ThaumCraft, what you're really trying to do is just trying to catalog various aspects. And so what you spend your time doing almost is just going through your chests and just saying, well, do I have this certain one here? Do I have a certain aspect on any item that I may have? Now you can see here, I've actually just picked up the Nicolite here because it does have machina, and it has a second aspect as well. Okay, and the redstone has this as well. So it's got, that's 2 machina and 2 of that, I can't remember what it's called. It's got a cool name is all I remember, that second aspect there. But anyway, we're just going to take some of our Nicolite here. I'm going to stick it in here. Now you can see it's got the machina thing here. And potentia, that's it. So, and then underneath all of these aspects, by the way, it's got kind of, so the English translation, sort of what they mean. Yeah, so there's the Nicolite there. So hopefully when I do a bit of research here, some of this aspect is going to get taken up by in here, and it'll move a little bit. That's the idea. There we go. So it's moved a small amount. Now you can see up here, you see this, I did this before, whenever you get the research notes kind of started, it gives this thing here, and when you first started out, it sort of does it in the Galactic Standard Alphabet, you can't read it. But once you do about 50% of your research, this actually fills up in English, and it says, you believe this mystical device will point you in the direction of nearby sources of mystical energy. Sounds like a thermometer to me. And this is also going to give you some clues if you don't have all of the aspects put into the table yet. So mystical, something to do with magic, a device, something to do with machina, point in the direction of nearby sources of mystical energy. It doesn't tell you about that there, Cognitio, so you kind of have to guess that one. But anyway, so we're just going to press the research button here a few more times. You can see that did a huge jump. It's kind of random. We'll just use one more piece of Nicolite, and that's filled that up to 100%. All of these lines have stabilized. We've used up a piece of paper, I think. Well, maybe we haven't, because we had this already. And then we get this thing here, the Discovery Thermometer. So that's cool. All you do is take that out of the research table. What we're going to do is come down here and just kind of put it on our hotbar. And we can look down at it just like a map. And it says the same thing it did on that thing there. So it tells you what it takes. And what it's called and all that. And all I do is just right click. And I kind of get a little achievement thing. So I go to my Thermonomicon. Now you can see the thermometer thing here is no longer blinking. It's research completed. So I can actually click on this now. And it will give me a little bit of notes about it. The thermometer acts like a mystical compass, pointing us towards the center of the nearest magical aura. You're confident you'll be able to craft more refined devices in the future, allowing us to discover more information about aura nodes. For now, this will have to do. So basically what this is telling us is that this seems to be not the last tier of thermometer that we can get. Kind of cool. So there's what it looks like there. It's going to take us 20 Vs to make. It's going to take 4 gold ingots and also a water shard, specifically a water shard. Now we're going to talk about this. I guess we'll just quickly craft it as well. Kind of a cool aspect. This one isn't going to take anything that we need to make in a crucible, so that's going to be pretty easy. So we'll go ahead and take a water shard out of here. I've got a ton of water shards from the quarry. But yeah, we'll just use this. Now I think I've got a bit of gold here. I think if we don't, we'll have to head to the mining world really quick just to get that. Okay, here we go. So it kind of makes like a compass, as you'd expect. You're just using gold. And the Arcane Work Table, this is really the really cool thing about the Arcane Work Table. You can craft any old item in it that you like, and it'll bring it out here. And we're going to go ahead and just stick our thing in here. But you can see I've got the recipe right, but it's not giving it to me. Now you remember I said it takes 20 Vs to make. So how am I going to get 20 Vs into the Arcane Work Table? Well, the answer is actually pretty easy. It's through my Wand of the Apprentice here. I didn't really explain, but this wand, it kind of holds Vs. And Vs kind of comes from the local atmosphere of the world. Vs is in the air and everywhere and stuff. And whenever I use up Vs in my wand, it'll actually replenish itself from the vise in this chunk. It runs on chunks. No, it actually doesn't run on chunks in ThaumCraft 3. I forgot about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick my Wand of the Apprentice into this slot over here. It tells you how much vise is down here and how much vise it's going to take to make this. So I'm going to go ahead and make the Thermometer. And this kind of drains a little bit. It goes down to 30 vise. Now, as I said, it is going to replenish. So I just come down here. Oh, is it? It's not replenishing, guys. When I was doing experiments with this mod, because I'm not sure if I've said on camera before, but I was a beta tester of ThaumCraft 3. Kind of cool. Asanor kind of approached me. So yeah, beta tested this. Now, it's not filling back up, which is actually worrying me. I'm probably going to need to... Probably aren't any aura nodes anywhere near me. But we should be able to use our thermometer here. I think we'll just quickly end the episode by trying to find ourselves a thermometer. Now, the issue that I'm having here is that it's actually not picking one up at all. It's not giving me anything. It's not telling me that there are ones around at all. That is amazing. I think what we'll try and do is head into our mining world. Now, hopefully the vise in this world will not have been drained. So I'll just go in here real quick and just see if that affects our wand and our thermometer at all. Okay, here we go. Now it's kind of calibrated itself to say yes. Now, I can't remember what side of it is you follow. I'm kind of thinking that this lighter side here is the one that you follow. So it kind of moves around in the map thing here, just kind of pointing towards where the aura node is. So we're just going to kind of head in this general direction. It's okay. It's right around here. It's right here basically. So okay, there we go. Our wand is already filled back up to 50 vise. Well, that was amazing. I think that's actually a really good place to end this episode of the Craftsmen Collective for today. So guys, obviously that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I need to get my jetpack back on. Get back up to the... Where'd it go? Where is it? There it is. Lag! Alright guys, this was Birdtross playing on the Craftsmen Collective server. Kia kaha. Kia guys! Just wanted to thank you for watching this episode of the Craftsmen Collective. It's actually a bit long in my opinion. Probably should have done ThaumCraft as a separate video, but hey, we started! Woohoo! Definitely want to get more of that going pretty quickly here as well. Probably want to get some more IC2 done as well. Definitely need to get that MFE. Anyway, looking at the screen, that top video there is going to take you to the previous Craftsmen Collective episode. In that episode, we're moving around some of my IC2 machines into the birdhouse. And yeah, so that episode's pretty much redundancy because I moved all the things again. Anyway, down there in the bottom left, it's going to take you to my latest Minecraft with Birdtross episode. It's a bit of a weird episode, but all the same, the link's right there. Down there in the bottom right, it's going to take you to my latest Kerbal Space Program video. Episode 2 just started that series up. We go into the moon, and we do land on the moon, but do we make it in one piece? You'll have to watch the video and find out. If you want to support the video, you can go ahead and hit the like button. That helps me out and makes you feel awesome. Also as well, if you haven't already, or if you're new, you make sure to hit the subscription button. New birds in the flock are always welcome. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.